What do the 1% know that the 99% of founders don't? Well, it's a different mindset. It's a mindset that comes from strategy and execution. It's not chasing a dream. It's something bigger. It's about thinking through these 10 steps that we're going to go through right now. My name is Nancy K. Coy. Thank you for joining the Nancy K. Coy Show. At the end of this video, I hope that you enjoy the content enough that you become a subscriber. If you'd like to share the content with your friends and other founders, entrepreneurs, startups, those that want to be a startup founder, please let them know. We really have a goal. And one of the major goals that we are trying to achieve this year is to move the needle from 3 to 5%, from 3 to 5% of women founders to get funded. 3% of women get funded. We're trying to move that number to 5. Wow, that may not seem like a big number in the VC world. It's huge. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump in right now. Number 1, money follows value, not just ideas. So many founders think that passion will carry them. It's absolutely not true. Customers and investors are looking for results. That's what they care about. They care less about passion. Now, they want you to be passionate about what you do, but be careful that thinking passion is going to carry you. They focus on building a product that solves a problem, a painful problem, rather than just chasing a trend. Number 2, capital raising is a sales process. Raising capital is a sales process for sure. And having a funding pitch deck is great, but it's about selling a vision. Did you know that by the time that you get on the phone with an investor, about 80% of the sales process has probably already been done? Because what really good founders know is that you build relationships with investors, and you don't just jump in day one, share a pitch deck with them, and ask them to send you money. You build a relationship that is fostered over time, and then you ask them to invest in your company, because guess what? A lot of investors at that point, if they've engaged with you for a while, they have the FOMO, fear of missing out. Nobody wants to be left behind. So you want to build a vision that they can get behind, that they're so excited about, that they don't want to miss out. A lot of people that just go and meet an investor and ask for money right away, that's almost as silly as going out on a date with somebody and you're halfway through the meal and they ask you to marry them. That doesn't go over very well. It's the same principle. Funding and investment is just like creating a marriage, and it really, really is. If somebody's going to put money into your business, they're tied to you. So think strategically and create the vision so much so that, again, they like you, they like what you're doing so much that they're salivating. They don't want to miss out. Execution versus perfection. So many founders lose their business right here. I've struggled with this. I know so many founders that have struggled with wanting their product to be perfect. Reality is it's suicide. When we spend so much time trying to become perfect, we never get to market because we miss momentum and we spend too much time focused on getting it right versus getting it to market and creating revenue. So we waste time over planning, redoing. And so the idea is you want to launch fast, you want to get to market, you want to start bringing revenue in the door, and then innovate, create, remodel as you're going, but don't get stuck on being perfect. I've come to the conclusion that 80% is a really good target. And be okay with it not being absolutely right, because the other thing that happens in that is you engage a lot of times your customers and they get to be a part of the fix or the solution. And that creates much, much more of a sticky relationship. Done is better than perfect, right? So leverage is everything. You've got to think in terms of leverage. This is the thing that we have to do as founders, and a lot of us struggle. There's a major, major difference between a company that gets to only 7% of founders actually hit $1 million in revenue, and then it is, and yes, 7%, and then it just goes down significantly from that to 100 million, excuse me, 10 million, and then again to 100 million. I mean, the numbers just shrink and shrink and shrink. And a lot of this is because founders don't leverage themselves. They continue to do everything. And it's hard, especially when you're bootstrapping in the beginning. You tend to keep doing the same things. And if you can't, when you get to the point where you can delegate, you've got to do that. Automate, delegate, create systems so that you can do what you do best, which is probably being in front of customers. Remember, if you're the founder, you're the brand. And then when you become the brand, when you're the brand, then you become a movement. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. Market timing is everything. If you build a product or a service, whatever, and you do it before the market is ready for it, it doesn't work real well. Those of us that are visionaries, this is a struggle too, because we see things a lot of times before other people see it. And we want to bring something to market. We need to slow down. We need to make sure that we have product market fit before we bring that product to market, and make sure that we have what the market is looking for at the right time. The 1% know how to pivot without emotion. When you build a product, I realize it's your baby and you love this product and service or whatever. And we get really attached to our idea. And we need to not do that. We need to not be emotional about this idea. We need to realize that it's a baby on its own and we need to nurture it. We need to grow it. But we also need to make sure that we pivot. And if we get our customers engaged and they tell us our product's awesome, that's fantastic. But when they tell us our product isn't great or it has some flaws, okay, they're doing you a huge favor. Allow them to do that. Allow them to be a part of building your product better. They know what they want. They know what they need. Don't get emotional about it. Yes, it's your baby. You want it to look a certain way. But do you want it to look a certain way, or do you want a product and service that is sellable? Distribution is king. We've got to distribute our product and service. We've got to get it out into market. You know who was absolutely phenomenal doing this was Nike, Tesla, and Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs knew, he probably did it better than anybody else. Elon's obviously done pretty well with this too, but Steve Jobs knew to build himself as the brand. He was brilliant at it. And then he created a movement. He had so many customers on board. They were literally salivating. They wanted to be a part of what he was building, so much so that he had customers before he even built his Apple machines. That's brilliant. And one of the hardest, why do people want to invest in a company that if you don't have customers, you're going to have a hard time getting investors. But if you have customers ahead of time, and now you've got revenue coming in the door, we're right back to that FOMO, fear of missing out. Just keep that in mind. Number 8, the 1% know how to play the long game. They know that they think in terms of decades in advance. They don't think short term. They think long term. So they're always thinking way ahead. It's like chess. You've got to learn to be really good chess player. They know how to attract the best talent. You know, when you have a product or service, think in terms of, gosh, if I could have been an employee of Apple, if I could have been an employee of Tesla in the very beginning, if I could have been an employee of Nike in the very beginning, they were so successful. One of the biggest reasons they were so successful is that they not only created a movement with their product, but they created a desire for people to want to be around their product and service. They wanted to be a part of what was being built in these set of circumstances. So you want to have associates that are incredible. They're the best talent. And if you have a product or service that is so good, you're going to bring those people into the fold before you even need them, before you can even afford them, right? And now you know who you want because you've been able to attract the very best. Number 10 is they own themselves. They don't rely, the 1%, they don't rely on a single investor. They don't rely on a single customer or a single channel. They build leverage and they're strategic in every single thing they do. So let's go back really quickly. We're going to run through the list again. Number 1 is money follows value, not just ideas. 2, capital raising is a sales process. 3, execution versus perfection. 4, leverage is everything. 5, market timing is more important than the product. 6, the 1%, they know how to pivot without becoming emotional. Number 7, distribution is king. Number 8, the 1% know how to play the long game. Number 9, they know how to attract and inspire the very best talent. And number 10, they own themselves. I hope this information was helpful for you and wishing you the very best as you become the 1%. That is the goal, is to get to be the 1% and not the 99%. Wishing you a great day. Thank you again for joining in. I'll talk to you next Wednesday. Bye for now.